Delos is an organization that's transforming indoor environments for people. It really came about in 2007 when our founder, Paul Shala, realized that the environmental sustainability movement had made great strides in really thinking about energy efficiency and water efficiency and how our buildings are operating and impacting the environment, but didn't really take into consideration the health of the people inside those spaces. So the Delos headquarters here in New York City really is a showcase project. We really wanted this to be something that demonstrates as a case study to the industry all of the work that Delos is doing across all of our different teams, but also really to be a case study project where people can come into the space and really understand what it feels like to be in a healthy space. Going beyond that, we really wanted to address environmental sustainability and use this as a case study project, working to really show where there are overlaps or where there's lack of alignment between healthy building certifications like WELL and green building certifications like LEED or Living Building Challenge. So we pursued all three of those in an attempt to really showcase to our clients and the industry where there are overlaps and where there's opportunity for improvement.
A project like this is really unprecedented in our industry, and that alone can be a daunting task for a construction team when you add all of the people involved in and all of the research and product vetting that has to happen. Regular construction projects are a task in itself, and when you add sustainability requirements into the mix, it really becomes a challenge. We've been saying now at ASSA ABLOY that with global reach comes global responsibility, and that ties directly to one of our cornerstones now, which is sustainability. And within buildings, progressive built environments that are considered sustainable, they're also considered safe and sound and healthy. As a door and hardware manufacturer, we found that our products and solutions have a chance to contribute to these progressive built environments now more than ever.
In trying to meet all of our different healthy and sustainable material requirements for LEED, WELL, and Living Building Challenge, we had a pretty rigorous form that went out to every single manufacturer, basically summarizing all of those different requirements in one place and asking all the different questions that could be asked for pursuit of these three different certifications. One of the things that was great about talking with ASSA ABLOY is that Amy and others were so educated, not only in their own product, but also in the requirements of these different certifications.
The idea in the consumer world now is that we want to know where our products came from and how they were made. And what's really interesting is that's translated over to the commercial and institutional world, which is where we live with doors and hardware. And with progressive built environments and these green building certification programs, that demand is driving us as manufacturers to become more responsible. And so these labels, like health product declarations, like declare labels, provide a way for us to understand where a product came from, how it was made, and what's in it, and be transparent with that data to our customers. And then it allows us to take that information, work with our suppliers, work with our engineers, our product development teams to optimize the product to make them better for the inhabitants of the building.
As a case study space, we obviously want this space to be beautiful, not just healthy and sustainable. And I think one of the greatest takeaways or lessons learned, or maybe even surprises from our design team, was that in the past, when these new green building standards or certifications were being pursued, it was really challenging to keep the aesthetic that they had planned or dreamed of from the beginning. And so one of the major concerns of Gensler and the rest of our design team was that this space would end up being pretty sterile when we were really trying to bring all of these different certifications in at the exact same time. And what they've really been pleased to see, at least what they tell us and how we feel about the space, is that that aesthetic was not lost at all. In fact, only enhanced by a lot of the requirements that we brought into the space. So one great example, because we knew ASSA ABLOY could get us all of this information, contribute to these green and healthy building standards, a lot of our products were actually switched from another manufacturer to be ASSA ABLOY products, and they were able to maintain our industrial look of the space, which is really mimicking the High Line that's on one side of the building, really thinking about the reclaimed wood look and metal finishes, and they were really able to match that exactly what we needed, and again, maintain that aesthetic while also meeting all of these healthy sustainability aspects.
With an industry that's as old as the door and hardware industry is, customers in many cases come to know the product as one thing specifically. And what we're doing at ASSA ABLOY is kind of changing that idea. So if the design calls for a specific finish, a specific aesthetic appeal. The incredible thing is that we work with industrial designers, engineers, and product development teams to make that exact idea happen. And the end result turns into be something incredible, much like what you see in this space here.
So you'll notice a lot of glass throughout the space. We have a glass curtain wall that was provided to us by the building and is definitely a major piece of why we selected the building. We also have kept all glass partitions throughout any of the private offices that we have, as well as any of our showcase spaces, conference rooms, or focus rooms throughout the space. Again, really making sure that even if you're sitting in the deepest part of the floor plate, you really have access to those quality views as well as quality daylight. As far as ASSA ABLOY products, we've been able to incorporate quite a bit of door hardware, gaskets, all sorts of different things to maintain any security that we need throughout the space.
Our glass solutions really is a unique capability, especially because it's allowed us to expand and have a deeper role in the part that we play with architects and designers. And so the ASSA ABLOY Glass Solutions line allows us to incorporate our door and hardware solutions into this growing trend of open architecture. And allows us to play in a space that really has an incredible eye for design and has a place within some pretty progressive building projects around the country.
One of the great aspects of working with a manufacturer like ASSA ABLOY that knows what's going on and not only what is in their products and information about their products, but also what is needed for these building certifications, is that we really had a trusted resource to work through any issues we came up upon. So having someone who's fully transparent and willing to work you through some of these issues is so different than a lot of other manufacturers in the industry, and really in a project like this is the only way that you can make something like this happen.